So it is, God, I don't even know what day it is. Tuesday? Monday. It's Monday. I know it's Monday. Um, I'm in a bad mood because I went to my boyfriend's and I was there, and he lives in the city, so like you have to park on the street, which is fine. Like he doesn't live in like the part of the city where like it's difficult to park on the street. Like there's pretty much always parking on his street, and if not, like just go around the block and I'll find parking fine. So I parked there, came back to my car hours later, and someone had parked literally that far from my bumper, and it took me almost 15 minutes to pull out because like the person behind me was like that far away and the person in front of me was like that far away, and it's just like inching like a quarter of an inch at a time, like back and forth, like for 15 minutes, and the rest of the street completely empty apart from those two cars on either side of me. And I was like, why? Like literally, why are people like this? Like, just pull around in front. Like, I don't understand. It took me so long to pull out. Like, if I didn't have, like, a backup camera on my car, I wouldn't have been able to come home. Because, like, I wouldn't have trusted myself to, like, figure out how fucking close I could get to that car. Whereas with the camera, I can get, like, you know, within an inch and not hit them. But, like, Jesus Christ. Like, I just don't understand why people do that. And that person's, like, always sticking out. Like, I've spent a lot of time with my boyfriends. And that person is, like, always sticking out into, like, the alleyway where he parks. Because there's, like, parking behind his building. And just, Jesus Christ. I was in such a bad mood. Because, like, I almost would have been stuck there. Because, like, there's nothing else I could have done. But, whatever. Anyway, I got a package. I'm very excited. I know what this is. I was sent The Girls Are Gone by Michael Broadcorb and Allison Mann. Michael Broadcorb and Allison Mann. The Girls Are Gone. I was sent this in exchange for a review, and I'm very excited because this is the first book I've ever been sent for a review. Like, it was like sent to me and not like part of a giveaway or something. But I'm super excited. This looks really good. I usually don't say yes when people like offer to send me books for review just because like I'm not super interested. But this one I am. This is a true crime book about a man whose daughters both go missing, and I think it's something to do with like his wife or their mother or stepmother or something. I don't know. I'm not really sure, but it's true crime. I like true crime. I will probably read this month, maybe next month, depending on how much time I have, but I'm really looking forward to this. And I just flipped through it, and like there's a lot of information. There's a lot of like quotes from like court trials and like newspaper articles, so like it looks really interesting, and I'm so down, and I'm like excited that I got sent a book because like it's the first time it happened, and I really hope I like it, because if I don't like it, I'm gonna feel bad about giving it a bad review. Like I still will, like I'm not gonna like, it's gonna be an honest review no matter what. I'll just feel bad if it's a negative review, so I really hope it's not, but if it is, it's not the end of the world. It's still, any publicity is good publicity, right? I don't know. It looks really interesting though, and like I love missing persons cases, especially in thrillers, but in true crime as well. So I'm so down for this, and like I was gonna wait to open this till I was upstairs so that I could have like more decent lighting, since like literally half my face is in shadow right now. But I was in a bad mood, and I just really wanted to open my book now because it would make me happy. So I've just been to the park, which was lovely. It was a nice day, so I kind of just decided to come hang out here and read and listen to my audiobook for a minute, which I haven't done in like ages, like literal years, and it's always just like really lovely. And it was warm today, but like not hot, so I don't know, I just kind of baked in the sun for a couple hours, and I did finish my Eddie Izzard audiobook, which is really good, just like not as good as I kind of expected it to be, and it was really long, and I don't know, it was fine. And I stopped by the library and got Orphan Monster Spy by Matt Killian. And yeah, I started that. I'm a couple chapters in. Abby from Autumn of Pelennor recommended this to me, so I decided to pick it up, and it's good so far. I really like it. Like, I'm only a couple chapters in, but I do like the writing, I like the voice, and I don't know, so far it's pretty enjoyable. And today was just a nice day in the sunshine, and it's been like so long since I spent any time outside, so it was just kind of like nice to chill. It's another library day, which is my life. Let's just be real at this point. All I do is go to the library, but the last 2 times or 3 times have only been to pick up holds. So I grabbed If Beale Street Could Talk by James Baldwin, which I've had on hold for a while. And I'm actually really excited to read this book. So I'm very excited this came in, and I know it has other holds on it, so I'm only going to have it for a few weeks. So this one probably will get read this month, just so I can be done with it. And it's fairly short, so I'm hoping I enjoy it. This is like a bit outside of what I normally read, but I do want to get into like more classics, more literary fiction, more stuff like that, because I do enjoy that. I just don't read it as much because I'm lazy. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm at 2nd and Charles book shopping. I came specifically for their clearance books, but they're having a sale for like kids books. If you buy 5, you get 5 free. And well, kids/teen. So of course that's what I did, and now I have 10 books, and this is a problem. I finished all my shopping. I'm just kind of like hanging out waiting for them to buy back my books, because it's honestly taking forever today. And like, I don't judge, because like I know it's their job and they're busy, but like I've been here for 2 hours and it's taken forever today. But I don't know, I'm getting like 10 books, which I looked at nonfiction because I do really want some nonfiction books, but it's like always impossible to look for anything in nonfiction because it's split up into different categories, but some things are in alphabetical order and some things are in the specific categories, but it's all like mixed up and messy anyway. So I don't know, I give up on nonfiction, and I'm kind of just like chilling here and tempted to read one of the books that I'm getting, because I can't actually buy the books until they go through my books and buy them back, because I don't have enough money. So yeah, I'm super looking forward to this, but I don't know, it should be like soon-ish. I'm just hanging out in the meantime. So I got the Sadie audiobook from the library yesterday, which I don't think I mentioned, and I've already finished it. I love Sadie. I love Courtney Summers. Like, ugh. I don't think I love the audiobook specifically as much as like everyone else seemed to, but it's still good. It was still Sadie. But I do think like when I eventually reread that one again, it's gonna be with the physical book, because I did feel like it flowed better that way. But yeah, I donated a bunch. I didn't donate. I sold a bunch of my books yesterday. I took them to 2nd and Charles, and they did not take as many as they have been, which they didn't used to take very many. They used to take like a couple, and like I'd taken like 10 or whatever, and they would take like 3 or 4 out of those 10. And then they were opening a new store, so for like the past 8 months maybe, they'd been taking like a lot, like almost everything, or even everything sometimes, that I brought in, which was fantastic. But yeah, I just like took in a stack and I took like 4 out of 10. So like that's not the worst thing ever, but it's definitely like, ooh, now they're not like buying all my books back, which is annoying. So I just donated like the rest of them, which was like a bunch, I dumped them at a little free library, and it's the same little free library I always go to, but I went late in the evening because they took forever to like go through my books, and there was people there, and there were people outside in the yard, and I was like, ooh, I shouldn't have come here. And then like this big golden retriever came over and said hi to me, and it was super cute. But I don't know. Like, I feel like I might stop going to 2nd and Charles entirely, because I've used all of my store credit, and they're not taking very much. Like, I must have taken, I don't know how many books I took in, because I couldn't take everything I had, because like I did have ARCs and stuff. But I must have brought in like a fair number of books, and they really only took a couple, and it's just like, it's not worth it at that point. Like, I don't know, like I have to go and I have to wait sometimes for a couple hours for them to do it, and like, I don't know, I might stop going to 2nd and Charles. I don't really have much left to unhaul, I don't think. I don't know. But yeah, I got to see the puppy at the little free library, and it was so cute. I mean, it wasn't a puppy. It actually seemed like kind of an old dog, but it just like came over and wagged its tail and gave me a kiss and then left. And I was like, that's sweet. And that was like pretty much my day. And now I'm just trying to catch up on BookTube, because I'm like 8 or 9 days behind, I think, which is bad. And I have to film a bunch of videos, which I haven't done, and my boyfriend and I were supposed to hang out today, but I'm pretty sure he just like fell asleep this morning and slept all day, so we didn't hang out. And yeah, that's pretty much my life. I'm just trying to get a lot of reading done so that I can like finish all the things I was meant to finish this month. So I read The Realms of the Gods last night, which is the fourth book in the Immortals Quartet by Tamara Pierce. And I loved that series when I was a kid. I was reading it for the rereadathon, and I will talk more about this in my rereadathon video. But it made me so angry, I wanted to rant about it here too, because I had thoughts, and they were overwhelmingly negative thoughts. Like, I love that series. I still do. I think the first 3 books are really well done. I think they're fantastic. They have a few flaws, but, like, they're my childhood, and they make me really happy. The Realms of the Gods does not make me happy anymore. Like, I loved that book when I was a kid. Like, reread it so many times. I specifically reread that book, and I loved the romance in it. Cut to me being 25, reading it now, and I realized that the main character in that book is 16, and her love interest is 30 or 31. I'm not sure. Some of the reviews said 31, and I was like, really? Like, I thought it doesn't matter. Anyway, that's horrifying. That's disgusting. Like, I'm 25 now, so I'm like a good 5-6 years younger than the love interest. And I can't fathom trying to have a relationship with a 16-year-old. Like, they're a freaking child. Like, a literal child. And in my head, I think I'd aged Dane up, the main character. I think I made her like 18, 19 in my head, and I made the love interest like 25, 26, which is still like a little iffy, but you know, the kind of thing where it's like, well, everyone's a consenting adult, so I don't really get a say. But oh my god, like, it made me so anxious reading that. Like, I still gave the book 3 stars, because, like, I can't lie about how I feel about the book. But so anxious. Just literally so anxious and nauseous, really. Just reading that and reading the romance and the things he said that were, like, borderline grooming. Like, I did something similar when I was a teenager. Not exactly the same. I wasn't quite that young. But it was kind of similar, and I really wonder if it was books like that that just, like, influenced me in my thinking of the whole age is just a number. Like, it really doesn't matter, like, if you love someone, and, like, it does. It really does. When one of those people is a child, like, a literal child. She's 16, and this isn't an old book. Like, if it was an old book from, like, the 50s, maybe then I could be like, well, it was a product of its time. This was published in 1996. Like, this is not a product of its time. This was still screwed up in 1996. Like, I was alive in 1996. Just, ugh. It upset me. And I was like, I'm finding issues with that book. Like, as an adult, I do have some issues with them. But that's been the biggest so far. It's just like, this is straight not okay. Like, this is not, it's a product of its time. This is not, oh, a small issue, or like, this relationship's unhealthy. This is screwed up. Like, 16 and 30. Like, I loved the relationship in that book when I was a kid. Like, I loved it. I'd go back and, like, reread the scenes, and I thought it was, like, the sweetest, cutest relationship. And, like, Jesus Christ. I don't know. Like, that's probably the worst experience I've ever had, like, rereading an old book where I'm like, this isn't just, like, something I enjoy less or something that I find a mild issue in. Like, this is wrong on so many levels. Like, it's 20 years ago, basically, that she wrote this, published this, and that's not okay. Like, it's not okay. And I don't know, I was really upset by that book, and I don't know. Because, like, I recommend that series, and I do think the first 3 books in that series are fantastic. And I think story-wise, the 4th one is okay. It's just the romance that completely ruins it for anything. I can't be like, oh, read the first 3 books of this 4-book series, because the first 3 books are amazing, and just, like, skip the 4th one, small child. But, like, as a kid, I literally didn't see anything wrong with that. As a kid, I was like, this is sweet. Age is just a number, blah, blah, blah. And I'm mildly upset. Mildly, you know, just a little bit. Not too much, you know. But, I don't know. This is probably the end of the vlog, because it's Saturday, and I'm, like, not in the mood to read anymore, to be perfectly honest. That just kind of put me, like, in a mood where I was like, no. And the thing I'm finishing now, which is The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Ahdieh, I really don't like. It's not even like an active dislike, it's just the realization that I have about like 70 pages left in the book, and I really don't care about anything that's going on, and a lot of it is just anticlimactic and boring, and I didn't like the first book all that much, and the second one is just worse. But I still need to finish it by Monday, because I talk about it with Abby, and I don't know. I'm just in a mood, and I have to read 1,000 Splendid Suns for the rereadathon also, and If Beale Street Could Talk, and those are like the 3 things that I desperately need to finish by the end of this month, which I have like 10 days left. So it should be fine. Like, I should be able to get those things. I'm just kind of burned out from reading, and kind of burned out from realizing that one of my old favorite books is trash, and that I've recommended people bad books. I mean, not bad books, they're great, but like, she's 16 and he's 30. Like, any other argument is kind of like null and void at that point, because she's 16 and he's 30.
At times sublime, but we keep falling backwards. Oh, the things that hide in the sunlight. I scan your face and cry out from inside, out of this holding pattern. There is an open sky that you could